Another movie review. This is Sunflower, and this movie was released in 1970, and I saw it last week. It's directed by Vittorio de Sica, and Tonino Guri wrote the screenplay and the story, and also assisted by Cesare Zavattini. And the cast in the lead role is Sophia Loren as Giovanna, Marcello Mastoinanni as Antonio, Ludmila Savaleva plays Marcia, Galina Adriva plays Valentina Ivanova, and Anna Karena plays La Madre de Antonio, and Nadia Seradichenko plays La Contadina Razia. That's an official in the Russian government. And it was, as I say, released in 1970, and it captured some awards, Academy Award. It got a nomination for Best Music Score by Henry Mancini, and the Davide Donatello Italian Awards of the same year, 1970. Sophia Loren won the Best Actress statue. Now, one of the huge benefits I gain from watching movies, other than the entertainment factor, of course, is the opportunity to learn about actors, about their choices, about their knowledge of issues, their ability to become the characters they play. And because of that, it shows us, the viewer, a greater part of their own personality. Now, Sophia Loren is one of the great examples of this. As a younger viewer, I remember seeing Sophia, and she was an extremely beautiful Italian actress who usually played roles to the main lead role in blockbusting action-adventure Hollywood pics. For example, The Pride and the Passion. But let's just recall, Sophia Loren was born in 1934 and began her acting career in 1950. But following her relationship and subsequent marriage to Carlo Ponte, she changed her name to Loren and also her public image. Although her early work was still wrapped up in Italian cinema until 1958, when Hollywood doors opened for her. Now, Sunflower, as I say, released in 70, saw her return to work with the acclaimed Italian director Vittorio de Sica, and she starred alongside another Italian film icon, Marcello Mastoinanni. The film is in Italian, and it enabled me to explore further the huge talent that this woman has. She really is a gem, and this performance surpasses all of those Hollywood performances in spades. It's a war drama, and it's on a par with her Academy Award-winning performance in Two Women, which was also directed by De Sica. It's set in World War II, and it's a riveting watch. Sunflower, my review. Early scenes in this melodrama show Giovanna, played by Loren, in anguish trying to get Italian authorities to tell her what has happened to her husband, Antonio, who left Italy to fight in Russia to defeat the Red Army in World War II. The war's now over and troops are returning home, defeated, shamed, but alive, having survived a Russian winter. But where is Antonio? Immediately we view raw emotion as her desperation spills out to the officials. The film then begins a series of flashbacks used frequently by director De Sica. Courtship between Giovanni and Antonio is recalled, the fun and happiness and mischief taking centre stage, and then that looming date when Antonio has to report for active service with the Italian army before being sent to the Russian front to support Nazi troops in their showdown with the might of Soviet Russia. They marry in Naples quickly, a small celebration, and then they've got 12 days before that dreaded meeting. They check into a rented apartment, self-catering. It's a honeymoon. And Antonio cooks a huge omelette after an appetite fed by lovemaking. The Sica then shifts to a war setting, and we witness aerial bombing in the small town where the couple are. And here Antonio appears to lose his mind. He's sent to a sanatorium. It's all a bit of a pretense by the pair to avoid military service. But when Giovanna visits, the couple are spotted by staff being intimate, and their show is exposed. So Anthony has no choice, a court-martial and prison, or the Russian front. One of many emotionally powerful scenes we witness, the couple at the departing station with hundreds of other couples and families saying their goodbyes, not knowing if they will see their loved ones again. The last expressions of passion is also viewed in toilets and in various hidden compartments on the train. Milan station, returning troops. A man is spotted with the photo by Giovanni as she holds up the photo of Antonio. He approaches her and he tells his painful story about leaving Antonio on the River Don in the depths of winter. Italian troops lacking appropriate clothing to survive these sub-zero temperatures as the men try and walk away from the battlefield to safety. And the scenes as men drop exhausted and freeze to death as they are left by their fellow soldiers. And Antonio was one of them. We witness this in the flashback, and its pain is transfixing. Sica films Russians as a comparison with suitable clothing and skis showing their mobility. He makes a political point, I think, about the error of the Nazi high command invading Russia in the fall. The cinematography is superb, by the way, capturing the historical record, and the music score by Henry Mancini truly encapsulates the moment perfectly. We also see a faint hope as the Italian troops see a small shack-like building, but when they open the door it's packed to the brim, so they have to return and continue the walk. At this point the soldier tells Giovanni that her husband fell, and that he took some time before walking on and leaving Antonio. This provokes rage from Giovanna at the thought of this man leaving her husband to die. But then she starts to clutch at the thread that he might not be dead. As said, a highlight in a movie with a vast array of tragic moments. This belief then sends her to Russia to search for Antonio, and we get a glimpse of the numbers wanting answers from the authorities about missing men, Russians, Germans and Italians, lost loved ones. What follows are searches at football stadiums, cemeteries, fields of sunflowers that cover the bodies of frozen victims. She asked numerous people to view photographs of Antonio in locations near to where the fighting took place. And she also mistakenly identifies a man in the city, spotted in a crowd. And we witness through Loren's character the strength and determination to leave no stone unturned. And then almost as time was running out, an old Russian woman in a small town says she recognises him and tells her to follow. There's a house, a young woman and children. Sica pans the camera to take in the detail, the female mind interpreting the picture of the family. Giovanna is uncertain. The scene as the two women meet is both touching and transfixing and nerve-wracking. You sense the depth of feeling in both. The Russian trying to convey an innocence in what she did, the sorrowful empathy, The Russian woman tells her story of how she rescued Antonio from the door of death in the snow. Then collisions of emotions build up. And then at the train station, as Antonio arrives home from work, on the platform, we see Giovanni and his eyes meet her. The impact is so beyond anyone's really capabilities to understand. It encapsulates all the tragic consequences of war. It's a hard, tearful watch, but for Giovanna, she flees onto the train. We're then back in Italy, and Giovanna tries to restart her life. A new relationship, a child, but hardly a new love. A final burial of memories, pictures, clothes, destroyed. But in Russia, Antonio, torn with guilt and reawakening feelings for his lost Italian love, he must return to Milan to explain, and this he does. And then we see the last chapter of this movie, this tremendous movie about human emotions, as he contacts Giovanna when he arrives in Milan. She is rather put out, not interested, and he then takes a room with a prostitute, mere shelter it has to be said, because then he follows it up with another call, and Giovanna reluctantly agrees that for him to visit. The meeting in her home is very, very difficult for both of them, but we see a final swan song of their love, a few scraps really that are still around. But for Giovanna, it's far too late. She has children, she has a family. So another heart-wrenching goodbye on the platform. No, not this time. It is for Antonio a disappointment. For Giovanna, it's a realization about the fact that time doesn't stand still. It's the same platform, of course, but with a different emotion. So to summarise this movie, it unearths all those emotions of love, loss, separation, anger, fear, the recognition of a central performance by Sophia Loren, which is in itself remarkable, but additionally why she failed to receive at least a nomination for Best Actress from the Academy Awards. I don't get it. You just watch it.